By 2050, we expect the world will have 2 billion people over the age of 60. Put that another way, that's 2 billion potential customers for business. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of spending power. The questions are, how do we unlock that potential? And, of course, how do we ensure that the UK leads the way in this? These are not frail, vulnerable, elderly people. These are experienced consumers with free time, with discerning tastes, and with excellent credit scores. Of course, when we think about ageing, we have to consider the public policy challenges, but too often these problems cloud the debate and we concentrate only on the negative stories. And I believe that only fuels the public's view that getting old is something to be afraid of. My view is the industry needs to break away from thinking about chronological age and start thinking about biological age, thinking about the great diversity among the population, and that whatever someone's age, they will have their own aspirations, their own views, their own preferences, their own lifestyles. Now, secondly, ageing is a subject which needs to be discussed in every boardroom across the country, from the large global corporates to small local enterprises. Demand patterns are changing, and whatever the nature of business, be it food or fashion or fuel, companies need to think ahead about the implications of this change. Companies need to ensure that they're not in any way disadvantaging or excluding older people or those with specific needs. Work by the Financial Conduct Authority has highlighted some amazing examples of really simple and effective interventions that can be done today, such as one bank introducing effective debit and credit cards that have easily identifiable markings and different textures to help people who might be blind or partially sighted to tell the difference between their cards. Next, we need to think about a more inclusive approach to designing products, services and technology for older people. The language here is challenging. Is it inclusive, age-friendly, age-blind, 4-generational? But the concept is simple. It's about designing propositions so that they are attractive and appropriate to a 75-year-old as they are to a 27-year-old. Alongside understanding the market, we also need businesses to understand the changing needs of their employees. We want to support employers to redesign jobs and workplaces to better use the experience of their older workers. Enabling people to stay active and stay longer in the workplace. For the past 25 years, employment rates for the over 65s have doubled. So we need to systematically look at how we can remove barriers that stop people being able to work as long as they want to. Personally, I would like to see also the UK become the best place in the world for an older person to start a business as well. Critically, we've got to work hard to make sure people aren't falling out of the workplace prematurely. We know that UK musculoskeletal or mental health conditions are the main reason that they leave work before the end, before the state pension age, and that many people also have to leave to take on caring responsibilities. But imagine a world where technology could help to overcome these barriers, where somebody could use virtual or augmented reality to do their job without having to travel, or where a carer could be reassured that their loved one is safe through smart home technologies. But of course, technology is not the only avenue we need to explore. We also need to think about how we can be much more flexible in our working and employment practices as well. Many companies are embracing flexible working and the benefits it brings. The right to request flexible working gives employees the right to ask for working hours that better suit their outside of work commitments. In a world that is becoming increasingly volatile, I'd like to think that the process of ageing, both as individuals and as a society, is actually, in a funny sort of way, reassuringly predictable. And now our task is organising ourselves to respond. And this is equally the case for government as it is for industry. But if we act now, we can not only support our citizens, but it actually also ensure that businesses embrace the opportunities that providing products and services for a marketplace of 2 billion people brings with it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.